Action Against Poverty as a theme for Mandela Day is very important to us as the Nelson Mandela Foundation because of the realities we see. We see a lot of communities living in dire poverty, in dire states of lack of spaces that do not have the most basic things. And we felt it is very important to mobilize everyone, to get involved, identify that thing that becomes their action that is fighting against this poverty. And this can be fights of different kinds. It can be fights around education, it can be all sorts of action around food security, poverty eradication. And that is why it is important for us to understand that we must all ensure that we make some impact in our action against poverty. What the Nelson Mandela Foundation appreciates is that we are in a position that we can actually engage all sorts of stakeholders at different levels. And what we continually do is engage corporate stakeholders to say, how do we get involved? So it's not just about having a CSI department and a CSI budget, but it's also about building something that lasts. It's about making sure that the future generation has a world that they can be proud of and live in. So we continually engage with NGOs. Most of the stores that we have here today are NGOs, and you'll see a lot of corporates that are actually here, and it is through those networks of corporates, network of the civil society, that we make a difference.
So Brand South Africa's strong relationship with the Nelson Mandela Foundation has really come about as a result of the realization that the overall objectives that both organizations seek to achieve are aligned. So on a day such as this, where we're launching the Nelson Mandela Day for 2017, it is in full alignment with our active citizenship program, which is called Play Your Part. And as Brand South Africa, we run this program to call upon every single South African who has the ability and the means or even the talent to contribute towards nation building. So the message to them is, how can you play your part? What is it that you can do to improve your immediate community and as a result to improve the country? So it really is a movement and a call to action that we are taking around the country, and we are using this platform that Nelson Mandela Foundation has provided to carry that message.
This year marks the year that if OR was alive, he would have been turning 100. And given the person he was, the sacrifices he made, and the wonderful freedoms that he won for us, we think it's very befitting that we celebrate him and make sure that we spread his message. Even whilst OR was outside for 30 years and Madiba was in jail for 27 years, the connection remained, and it remained in a very unique way. Because there's a quote from Nelson Mandela where he said, even though I did not see him for many years, every day I held a conversation in my head with him. And it says a lot about their values, because they connected on values and what they fought for. So for this year for us, we felt that this being the centenary and the relationship he has with Nelson Mandela, we wanted to work together as foundations and find a way to continue to promote their legacy. So this year it's unique because this is OR centenary, and next year it's Madiba's centenary. So it's almost like a rollover for all of us. So fighting poverty becomes central, but what is more remarkable is all of us remembering that Adelaide Tambo, the backbone to OR, shares a birthday with Madiba. So today is the launch of the Mandela Day, which is July 18, and we agreed with the Mandela Foundation that we're going to also promote the good work that Adelaide did in her life. And that's why a school that's named after her was here with us today. And there's a lot of work we're going to be doing with the Mandelas leading to the 18th.
Today, we start by celebrating. We celebrate the wonderful political freedom that we have won, and that Mr. Mandela contributed his life's work to. But he was the first one to tell us that
the time for the healing of the wounds has come.
We have not completed that work of healing. That is why the negatives are because we are a wounded people. We've got people who have been elected to public office who are not there to serve, as Mandela was, a servant leader. And it is yours and my responsibility as citizens to choose the right leaders and not simply the one that presents himself with the loudest message, but to look at what are the values we signed up for. Human dignity, making sure everybody's socio-economic rights are met, making sure there is no child left behind, making sure we've got high quality education. Those should be the benchmarks against which we use our power to choose leaders at the local level, at the provincial level, at the national level, but also in our everyday. Why are we as South Africans willing to give our time and energy to people who claim to be pastors of people's souls, who are abusers of our children and our grandmothers, and abusers of poor people, taking away money under the pretext that that's how you get rich? We have to heal the nation so we are not easily led astray by false prophets. But ultimately, it's up to you and I. What are we going to change today so that every day is a Mandela Day? Every day is a day when we are working to complete the journey of freedom, making the Constitution a live document in everyday lives of people, making sure nobody goes to bed hungry, no child is out of school, and when they are there, to get the highest quality education. That's the way to celebrate the legacy of this great son of Africa.